Frazier and Maestro Styles, you know we got one. Right back like we left something. We don't duck smoke, we want all of it. So line them up, Trey sharp with the blade, you know we sizing it up. I'm quick to catch the fade, you know Styles making the cut. Cause we coming out clean every time that we showing up.
It's gonna be called The Barbershop.
What up, what up? Welcome, folks. It's another brand new episode of the Barbershop Sports Talk Podcast. We are streaming live on Twitter, on our Facebook page, the YouTube channel, on IG, and on our Twitch channel. This is Trey Frazier, and that's the homie Maestro Styles over there.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yo, what up, man? What's going on? How was your week, bro?
I'm good, man. Let me get my quick plug in. For those that don't know, don't worry, I'm good. B-Tape is now out on all DSPs today. Stream that. Maestro Styles, new B-Tape. Don't worry, I'm good. Is out on DSPs officially today. Go ahead. Let's get as many of these cut up pennies as we can get. Let's run these numbers up.
Yep, let's do it, man. Let's do it. Hey, man, great job as always, bro.
Yes, sir. Appreciate it. Hey, man, how are you? How are you before I get into the shit?
I try not to dig into, my personal life on this podcast too much.
You do, though.
I like it, or I don't dig into it.
No, you do it often.
Okay. Well, you're right. Although there's times I don't like going into it that often. But your boy is looking for some new. Well, I'm not looking for new employment. I'm actually.
Hey. By the way, side note.
What's up?
You don't have to do this.
I get it, bro. I want to do it.
I was just saying.
I'm not forced to do this. This is by choice.
This is by choice. A little oxymoron there. That's all I'm saying.
No. This is by choice, man.
Got you. Go ahead.
It was a bit of a surprise yesterday.
It was on your heart.
And I wasn't expecting it, but I had put my final 2 weeks in at the current company I was at. This week was supposed to be the last week. And I go in yesterday and they say, hey, look, instead of Friday being your last day, we're going to make Monday be your last day. And I said, okay, no problem. Where do I drop off the equipment and turn in the key card and, and all that good stuff. And, I looked at it as, well, I don't start this new gig until, second week in August. So instead of 3 weeks of, not working, I got 4 weeks of not working. So I'm good. Gonna pay me these, last 2 weeks. I'm good, man. Feeling like Max Kellerman out here, man. Just
feeling like a lot of house projects to me.
Oh, you know that's coming.
Yeah, that's all it sounds like to me. I ain't been married for 10 years, but that sounds like a whole lot of house projects.
Hey, I tell you what, man. I dropped the kids off this morning at the camp and then went to go drop off the equipment and then came back around the way. I said, let me stop off at Planet Fitness real quick. And
okay,
I haven't been to Planet Fitness in quite some time. And I don't, the little key card thing, that fell off the keychain a while ago. So I walked in there and dude was very nice of, giving me a replacement card and, all my information was still in the system and all that good stuff. And he was like, yeah, you good to go. So did some weightlifting for 30 minutes, man. And I hope to make this a consistent thing throughout these 4 weeks and beyond.
Well, that is certainly up to you. So,
oh, of course. So yeah, man. Today was great. I'll just say my week is going great so far.
Mm-hmm.
I imagine there's going to be plenty of great weeks ahead, and beyond. And I'm looking forward to the show tonight, man. Got some dope topics. We're previewing the NFC North this week with one of the guys that is a good follow on social media. Kiante has his own betting podcast. It's called Pays and Plays Podcast, which you can find on YouTube. He's a big time Green Bay Packers fan, and I thought he'd be a good fit to kind of rap with us about what's going on with the Packers, what's the expectations for the team, and the rest of this division, this NFC North. It was the hardest division in football last year. with Detroit winning 15 games, Minnesota at 14 wins, and the Packers, at 11 wins. And and the Bears, we'll see what's happening with them. But good conversations tonight, and in a few minutes he'll be on to, chop it up with us. But man,
Hey man,
go ahead.
I was gonna say I got a very unimportant topic but I did want to know your opinion on it. So
Okay.
I'm scrolling through social media the other day, and I guess the guy was going around asking men, would you wear a WNBA jersey? What do you think the general consensus was?
I'm gonna say the general consensus is that they would. And
The
and the
gen-
reason I say that is because when you ask the question, you said men, and you didn't categorize it as straight men, gay men, and I
yeah.
know that I know that a part of the WNBA fan base community consists of gay men. So I've seen
Oh, I didn't know that. So
guys and I've seen guys do wear WNBA jerseys. So that's why I'm leaning more towards that. I think most of the men said yes, they do. Now, me personally, I wouldn't wear a WNBA jersey. I would just rock the t-shirt with the team logo, any kind of design or whatever. Matter of fact, I was supposed to be putting in a couple of orders for some Liberty t-shirts pretty soon, but I think that's about as far as I would take it. I would also, in addition, and this maybe doesn't apply, but I would get a New York Liberty fitted hat for sure.
why wouldn't you wear a jersey?
Why? I don't know. Maybe it's the look and maybe the cut of the jersey. I know they're cut differently than your NBA jerseys, so maybe that's what's kind of throwing me off from that. But I think that's the first thing I think about is just how the WNBA jerseys cut.
Interesting. Do you think that they would not have a man's cut WNBA jersey?
I don't think so. I just
Like you don't
again,
think
it's
they
just
would do
my
that?
no. I think they would. I'm just saying from my perception and just looking at the jersey, it just looks cut differently. Now, it may feel different once you put it on, and it might feel like a good fit. But I'm just saying, just from perception, from someone that's never wore a WNBA jersey before, that's my current perception of it.
Sure. So to answer, most men said
Hmm. Hmm.
they would not wear a WNBA jersey. And
Okay.
then at this the post went on to go to women, and women was like, no, I wouldn't fuck with a nigga that was wearing a WNBA jersey. WNBA jersey. Like, why would he do that?
Hmm.
So it's
Interesting.
interesting. It's interesting that you said no, because that no, you wouldn't wear it, as not
Hmm.
this is not in any way a shady comment or intended to be a shady comment. But
Yeah.
as a supporter, I know you are certainly more of a supporter of the W, as you guys like to say it, than I am. And yeah, that just didn't ring. My answer is that as long as it don't got me, I would wear a WNBA jersey, no problem. As a matter of fact, um, I don't
Hmm.
remember quite what stopped me that year, but that year
Yep.
when we won the championship, the Mystics,
Hmm.
I almost went and got the Della Donna joint. So
Hmm.
yeah, me personally, I don't have a problem wearing women's jerseys. Like
Okay.
again, if it's cut, like what I'm saying, like if it's cut for a man,
Yeah.
what I'm
Yeah.
saying. I'm not gonna wear a woman. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, Will says they need to make a man's cut. I don't know that they do or don't have a man's cut. I don't know.
Yeah.
I haven't.
Shout out to you,
Uh,
Will.
yeah, but I thought that was interesting. Like the chick, like it was a chick on there, like low key calling a man. I mean, I ain't gonna put words in her mouth, but I am at the same time low key calling a nigga that would wear a woman's jersey gay. Like, what type of nigga is you to wear a woman's
Mhm.
WNBA jersey?
Yeah. I wonder what her mindset is though on
Me,
that.
me too. Like I said, it's a post, so it's not like they went to a long diatribe
Sure,
of
sure. Well, and I think you overheard this conversation. Shout out to our homeboy when we was out several weeks ago in DC celebrating the homies' birthdays. but Vince was like, he was like the WNBA. He was like, man, if my daughter or son never asked me to go to a WNBA game, I'd be like, man, what the hell's wrong with you? Kind of paraphrasing what he said.
Sure.
And I was like, oh, okay, you one of them, huh? Okay, all right. No, no shade whatsoever. But
well, it's kind of, I mean, not shade. I don't think you
no
were being
shade.
shady, but
he's just not a fan. It's a combination of he's not a fan,
it's a
or
growing
he's just
sport.
not a believer.
It's a growing sport.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a growing sport. Yeah,
and going back to the young woman that says I wouldn't rock with a dude wearing a WNBA jersey, I wonder if that's her same mindset as well.
Yeah, I don't know. I personally, again, as long as if I support a player, whether man or woman, and as long as the garment or the jersey in this case don't look crazy on me, I ain't got no problem. I ain't got no problem with supporting a WNBA player that I rock with. I think that's
and I'll say this, and I'll say this. I don't have a problem with wearing a WNBA jersey. Again, I've never tried one.
You just wouldn't do it
before. I just on face value, I wouldn't do it. But
so if I told you tomorrow there's a Sabrina, whoever your favorite player is on the Liberty, whoever you rock with the most, there's JJ. A man, there's a men's cut of that jersey, and if I got you a men's WNBA jersey of your favorite player, would you wear it?
Yeah, if you got it for me, yeah. I wouldn't be like, oh, you got to take it back.
But you wouldn't buy it on your own. Well, not even that. I mean, I got plenty of things that people have gotten me and I just never used. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But you would wear the jersey if it was a men's cut WNBA jersey.
I would wear it. I would try it on.
But would you purchase it if you knew that was the case?
I think after the fact, I would purchase one.
Okay.
If I was gifted one first.
So your only, and I guess you said your only reservations is that it might be a woman's cut.
Yeah, that's all.
Okay. No argument there. Argument there. I wouldn't. I would not wear a woman's. Well, if it looked crazy on me,
yeah,
I already got man titties. I'm not trying to accentuate that. You know what I'm saying?
Ain't trying to look dykish.
Yeah. I'm not trying to look crazy. That's what I would say. I'm not trying to look crazy.
Yeah. Hey, speaking of the W, and I forgot to do this last week, but as different from the guy that once upon a time played quarterback down in your neck of the woods, I'm going to talk very positively about Angel Reese, and congratulations to her on her new sneaker from last week. Two, over these last 8-9 games, I mean, she's been on a double tear. I mean, and I'm not just talking 12 and 12. I'm talking 22 and 16. And those aren't averages. Those are just some of the numbers in just some particular games during that stretch.
Yeah.
She's definitely upped her game, this season. She's definitely stepped into the role of, being a better passer, even at that too. She's had some games where she's had 7-8 assists, things like that. She's, playing a point forward, role pretty well. She's balling right now, and I know her team is not in the best position in terms of standings, but through these last 8 games, which I think they're 500 right now, she's been leading the way in a very positive way. So I just want to shout her out.
Shout out to her, but ain't nowhere in hell.
Go ahead, man. Go ahead.
Because I don't know.
Let's get into it.
I don't know all of the details. I know something about a monkey. I know I know Shaq threatened to punch RG3 in the face on social media today. So I'm not really. I've heard people, on Joe Budden podcast, it was a point where it was like they don't even want to mention the nigga name. Like they
call him Bob.
Like people are fed up with RG3. I don't pretend to know why. I mean, I could draw inference based on what he said about her before, but I would love to know the details.
It goes back to that, and I'm not privy to all the details also, but you could tie in some of the things he said in regards to Angel Reese versus Caitlin Clark, and then you can also tie into what Ryan Clark had to say, and then, and I've said this, many times, Ryan Clark didn't have to apologize, but we knew where that was coming from. That was coming from the higher ups that to be like, yeah, you need to apologize for, what you said, even though he didn't say anything derogatory about his family. All he was just saying was, this is your family dynamics. You have a white wife and you come from a black family. Like, that's not being derogatory, right? So the picture of Angel Reese with the monkey face on it, and whoever originally posted that stuff need to go to hell. RG3, all he had to do was just say, hey, this ain't right. Would never do that to anybody. But you don't retweet that thing and then go into a diatribe about what Angel Reese allegedly said about your family, weeks ago. Like, you don't do that. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's to the point where Martin Luther King's daughter had to step in and defend Angel Reese. Angel Reese's mom, Angel Senior, was on social media, going at RG3. A lot of folks, you mentioned Shaq earlier today, said he's going to punch him in his face, and he's been quiet since. Somebody made a joke and said, "Oh, he's probably preparing a lawsuit."
Yeah, man. Well, thank you for that, because I didn't know exactly what was going on. I didn't know he retweeted the picture of her. I didn't even see the picture, to be honest with you. If I'm being super honest with you, I didn't even see the picture of what you're talking about. But yeah, bad RG3. Hey, cut that. I look, for me. On the RG3 side, it's simple, bro. You like, love it or hate it, it's getting you ratings. It's getting you clicks. It's getting
engagement farming and all that.
Yeah, all those things, bro.
Especially when it involves Caitlin Clark too. Like, that's a those are buzzwords right there for social media right now.
Yeah, it's hard for me to believe that RG3 came from a sense of trying to defend her earnestly. It's hard for me to believe that this was nothing but an attempt to, have a reason to go viral again, to have a reason to, draw people to your platforms and all those things. I think he realizes that him and Angel Reese is a hot topic, and so let's run it back. Basically, that's all it seemed like to me.
Yeah. At this point, all we should be talking about with Angel Reese, as far as Angel Reese, is the fact that she's balling, and these are her best numbers that she's put up since she's been in the league.
Well, I'm not gonna say
the sneakers.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say that this shouldn't be talked about. I wouldn't say that at all. I mean, look, the truth is that somebody did some bullshit, and it should be highlighted in a negative manner. Like, like people should be speaking up for Angel Reese in that situation. RG3 is the wrong person to do it because of his history, and also because of the way he says he's quote unquote doing it. It seemed facetious. It seemed like you was just trying to start shit. It didn't seem like you was trying to help this woman at all.
And also, I guess what I'm trying to say too is that if you're on social media and you see this guy making silly posts about black women, you should just ignore it and don't give it any attention, because the more you give it attention, the more numbers he's going to get. So, but you said something that caught my attention. You said that people should be speaking for Angel Reese. I saw Gilbert Arenas say something that I had to think about for a minute, but I think he made a good point. And I know not a lot of people agree with what Gil has to say, but he said, hey, the Asia Wilsons, the Nafisa Colliers, the Skylar Diggins of the world, mentioning, known black players in the WNBA, haven't necessarily came out to defend Angel Reese. And he posted a good question, like, hey, where are the players to speak out for Angel Reese? And I thought about it, and I was like, okay, you make a good point. You make a good point. Now, the answer to the question, I don't know why. None of the current players have said anything. I don't know. Maybe
how often How do we recall NBA players speaking up for Russell Westbrook when he was going through that shit in Utah? Do we recall that?
I don't recall. Me personally, I don't recall.
For me,
Hmm.
if that's the closest
Hmm.
example that I could
Hmm.
think of right off the cuff.
Yeah. I will say
If
this though. I will say this though. I think I've heard players generally speak about fans that are too close to players need to be
sure,
banned from games. I've heard
sure,
it. I've heard them speak about it generally, but not so much
yeah,
pertaining to
one
Westbrook.
person, right,
Mhm.
that's and to me that's different.
Yeah,
Having a general conversation as opposed having a general conversation because of a situation,
yeah.
in opposition to speaking directly to a situation that
Hmm.
involves something a player personally. I think those are two different things. I think
I agree.
speaking generally to it is like the kind of the whitewashing, the sugarcoating of the truth. The
Hmm.
fact of the matter is that something happened to Russell Westbrook, and people need to know, hey, leave Russell Westbrook alone. Leave
Yeah.
him alone. Sure, that means all players, but specifically right now, it's like all Black Lives Matter. It's like,
Hmm.
bruh, don't tell me about all lives. We obviously know all lives matter, but right now, what we're talking about is Black lives because it's happening to Black lives. So
Yep.
don't speak broadly to a situation that happened to somebody personally and
Yeah.
think that that's going to be a good enough protest to what happened to that player personally.
Yeah.
And that don't count for me. And the same, so getting back to the Andrew Reese situation, if players in the NBA won't speak to the ilk or somebody of the character of Russell Westbrook, I can't expect NBA play or WNBA players to speak to the ilk of somebody like Andrew Reese. I mean, let's be clear. Skill aside, Andrew Reese is the second most popular player in the league. Is that a fair assessment?
I think that's a fair assessment. I mean, you could
Uh,
arguably say she's number one. I mean,
I would still
you can
say
make the
Caitlin
case.
Clark because Caitlin Clark filling them stadiums up. But
Well, you said topic of conversation. I'm
no, I
not talking
say is she
about
the
scale.
most popular? I'm saying is she the most popular player in the WNBA. I think she's number two to Caitlin Clark.
Okay. No, and I don't think anybody would tell you you're wrong. I'm just saying if anybody came to me and said, "Hey, Angel Reese is the most popular player in the league," I wouldn't argue just because of not just what she's done on the court, not just her performances, on a nightly basis, but the podcast, the modeling, she's trending all the time. I wouldn't have an argument if somebody said that she would be number one, but I feel you.
Okay, so in that, if I just feel like I don't necessarily put the onus or a high percentage of the blame on WNBA players or pay people in that fraternities or so to speak or sorority so to speak.
Hmm.
I would say to the the beat writers, to the culture critics,
Hmm.
to the people who cover the game, who see these types of things. I feel like these are the people that need to be speaking out. And I'm not saying nobody hasn't. I'm just saying
Yep.
that RG3, it probably is. I don't follow him. Should be having a rough day on social media or a rough few days
Oh,
on
he
social
definitely
media.
was. He
Yeah.
definitely was for sure.
Yeah. And I think it needs to be covered wherever it happens. Again, I'm not a
Hmm.
big TV watcher, so let alone I'm not a big WNBA watcher. But it needs to be talked about when people are having interviews with WNBA players or people who cover the WNBA. Like these are
Yeah.
things that should be talked about. Like, hey, bro, what y'all doing and what RG3 is doing, and more so. We don't support that. We don't stamp that. And what you doing is sucker shit. I think that needs to be addressed. He needs to know that how he's moving is not the right way to move towards this black woman, and it seems tone deaf. I don't think he's any less black than whoever you consider to be the blackest person in the world
Hmm.
culturally,
Yeah.
but you need to be checked when you doing out of pocket shit. And RG3, that was out of pocket. You should be checked. You should continue to be checked. And I don't know if he's posted any type of a apology or any type of a walk back, but I feel
And I don't
like,
expect it. I don't expect it.
but it should happen,
I
and
agree.
this
I
should
agree. It should happen.
continue, and this
Mhm.
vitriol or whatever vitriol he's getting should be magnified until he
Mhm.
decides, until he sees the error in his ways. Like, bruh, leave this young woman the fuck alone. You don't have to speak on it. I get
Mhm.
it. If the whole spiel is I'm real, like, I'm honest. I got to be authentic. Like, sure, but you don't have to be. You not speaking about it is understanding that, um, hey, bro, this ain't that. It's like
Yeah.
you're not criticizing her game. You're not talking about her
Right.
as far as her basketball game. So all this hate and shit that other people are doing on social media, you retweeting that, is just giving more shine to this ignorant motherfucker who did what they did.
And even if you're right, you being RG3, even
Yeah.
if you're right saying that Angel Reese hates Caitlin Clark, whether that's true or not, so damn what? Like, players in the NBA hate each other, but they get on the floor, they play, in
I'm
between the
sure.
lines, and when the game's over, they go their separate ways.
I'm
Same thing
sure.
happens in W.
I'm sure there are plenty NBA players that want LeBron spot or want Steph Curry spot, or
Mhm.
et
Yeah.
cetera, et cetera. People dislike people.
Yep.
People even hate people. These are natural things in life. It's just the constant, and I guess truthfully I only know about the last interview or pod he did where he put it out there in this situation. But
Hmm.
that's just two times, at least one time too many that you got to speak on this woman. For me,
Yeah.
it's just too much. And protect black women in my zone is still a thing. So you
Yeah.
don't have to do this, bruh. Like, if people was coming for your wife, you would feel a way.
Yep.
You would
Yep.
feel a way coming at her for something besides what she does professionally or those things that she puts out there that's up for critique. You would feel a way. So it's like, bruh, you don't got to speak on it. You just don't have to. You're choosing to.
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah. I ain't got time for the cornball shit. Like,
It's
uh,
corny. It just is corny. It just is
yeah.
corny.
Yeah. That,
You don't have to do it.
yeah. I don't want to give it any more attention than, what is given. I don't want to give him any more attention than what he's already been
But
given.
I'll say this in closing, just for so if it ever has to be a situation, RG3, you know where I stand. That shit is corny. I'm not gonna go as far as calling you corny and all those things. That shit you doing with Angel Reese is corny. And if my word means anything, which you probably don't, you should just stop doing it. You should just stop doing it.
Yeah. Just stop talking.
If it ain't basketball on the court critique, you should just chill on Angel Reese, in my personal opinion.
Or just don't talk basketball, period, RG3. You're a football player, man. Like, talk football.
I
Season's
mean, I
around
ain't
the
gonna
corner,
do
man.
that. I ain't gonna do that. But just all the personal digs, man. You don't gotta cover that no more. You ain't gotta deal with that no more.
Yeah, yeah. It's crazy stuff, man. But again, shout out to Angel Reese, man.
Yeah, for sure.
Always want to give props where it's due, for sure. Um, so have you heard Layla Ali's comments about potentially wanting to fight Clarissa Shields?
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up because I forgot to put that in my notes. I don't. Look, legend, legend in the game, Layla. Come on, man.
Sound
Come
like
on,
you
man.
lusting in the process here.
No. Honestly, no. That wasn't the lust look. I feel like Shawty way too. That's not the lust look. Let's just leave it right there. That's not the lust look. The look is like, bruh, what are we doing? Why are you talking about at your age fighting Clarissa Shields at her age?
So can I set this up?
Love it.
So I had the chance to look at the video. So she was being interviewed by somebody. She was at some kind of charity event of some sort,
Hmm.
and someone asked, "Hey, what about the rumors of you potentially fighting Clarissa Shields, or you potentially coming out of retirement to fight Clarissa Shields?" Now, first off, as a viewer, I didn't know that was a rumor. I don't know about
Neither
you,
did
but
I.
I didn't even hear anything about that until the reporter asked Layla about that. And so the way she addressed it, which I thought was the best way she could address it, she said, "Hey, look, I'm good where I'm at unless you talking $15 to $20 million.
And
If that's on the table, then what's up?"
I said, ain't that what they always say? If the money right.
Of course. But I like how she put a dollar value on it instead of what the money is. But she said specifically $15 to $20 million, and she'll come out of retirement and set the fight up. So my thoughts on this is this. It would be a box office situation. I think it would be the equivalent of Tyson versus Paul, except if this ever went down, I wouldn't like it for it to end the way Tyson Paul ended. But if it would have ever happened, man, and the money was right and the promoters got it popping, I'll watch.
Did you watch Jake Paul? Well, let me not disrespect Clarissa Shields or Layla Ali.
Yeah.
Because Jake Paul, I know he's on his way to working to becoming a professional fighter. He's fought professional fights, but this ain't that, because we don't even really know if we take Jake Paul seriously as a professional boxer.
Sure.
Clarissa Shields is the best women's boxer in the field right now. Hands like, look, without me being a aficionado in the women's boxing world, it ain't hard to tell that she is the best, and I don't take it lightly. I think she is the greatest women's boxer of all time. That might the only person that rings a bell to me before that is Chrissy Martin back in the day. That's the only person that rings bells to me, and obviously Layla Ali. But Layla Ali is 47 and Clarissa Shields is 30.
Yep.
I'm not interested.
That's the only comparable. That's why I bring the parallel of Tyson Paul. It's just the age different, right? Not so much of what Jake Paul is now to what Clarissa Shields is now. They're two totally different.
Clarissa
types
Shields
of fighters.
Is a motherfucking dog.
Yeah. No,
and Layla Ali is a legend, but I don't. That's not fair in my opinion. Look, this might be me sleeping on Layla Ali's skill. I don't think that shit would. I ain't gonna say it wouldn't last long. I think she's skilled enough to have a fight, a professional fight, and make it out. But
I would say similar to Tyson Paul. It's not fair. Although it might have, if they would have let it go the way it would have went organically, Paul to me wins easily. I don't think it would be fair. Clarissa
Shields and Layla Ali is not fair. I wonder if she just saying shit to say shit, because this ain't the first time I've heard Layla Ali say "if the bag right," and then I'm sitting here thinking about it. This ain't the first time I've heard her say "if the bag right, I'll do it." So
okay, news to me.
Nah.
All right,
So she's probably just saying that. I don't think there's a real, like, if somebody offers you $50 million, you take the $50 million, sure. But I think she's clear that nobody's going to offer her $50 million to fight Clarissa Shields. That's my thought.
Oh man, if someone did, I would watch, man.
My man with the slides that we seen at Fanatics Fest. I guess if anybody can get her 50 million, it look like my man can get her 50 million.
Oh yeah, he gonna come in another dashiki.
Yeah.
Different color, color spots.
Definitely was not a dashiki though. That was I don't know what they call them. Yeah, I don't know what they call them.
Whatever it is.
We are not going to be culturally ignorant. at least not intentionally.
Well, whatever it is, he gonna come out in one of those. So, all right, man. Let's get the guest in for this week. There's the homie Kiante. He's got a podcast called Pays and Plays Podcast, which you can find on YouTube. Subscribe to his channel. He's got some good advice on sports betting and all that good stuff. Kiante, man, welcome to the show. Finally, I know we've been, back and forth on social media for a while, but we finally got you here, man. Thank you for coming in, man. How's everything? How's your week? What's going on?
What's going on, family? How y'all doing, man? Everything's good. Everything is good, man. I can't complain, man. You take a couple steps back, but you keep moving forward. That's how you do it over here.
That's the way it works. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
That's what's up.
All right, icebreaker question. I am a Washington Wizards fan. Yes. How if in your level of expertise, how can I hit a lick on the Wizards this year?
I mean, it's crazy because I remember last year around this time I said go Pistons, and you guys were like, "What the hell, go Pistons?" And ironic enough, look what happened, right?
Yep.
I say leadership. You guys got CJ McCollum, and I honestly like that deal. You got rid of Jordan Poole with that contract. Yeah, CJ's a little bit pricey, but for a team like the Wizards that's still building, I like what I've seen from the summer league from the point guard. Well, I'm gonna say guard nowadays from Texas. And I like what Alex Starr has been able to do. I mean, so you just built off that. And I mean, with CJ as a guy who's been in playoff games, and I mean, everywhere he's been winning. I think that leadership can take you on. Look what we have with the Pistons, right? We got Tobias, Schroeder, Beasley. Well, we're not getting him no more. We know about that.
That's for sure.
But that leadership alone, even with Tim Hardaway, that helped us a lot. And I mean, now, there's expectations now.
You watching summer league games? God bless you, bro. Cause
a little bit.
Yeah,
I've been seeing Holland ball for the Pistons, bro. So that's why I'm more optimistic right now. So
yeah. You from Detroit originally?
Yeah. So I'm from Detroit. Okay. I grew up in Charlotte too. So shout out to y'all guests last week. I do like the Carolinas. Ironic enough, the first night I ever slept there as a kid, the Panthers beat the Eagles, go to Super Bowl. So just the irony, right?
Yeah, that's crazy.
Okay,
so, there you go. Bobcats. I've been through it all as a kid there, and also as an adult. So I have to shout out Carolinas because Pays and Plays podcast originally started in Charlotte, and then I took it back to the D. The rest has been history ever since.
Okay, that's what's up. Just kind of sticking with that topic about the podcast. What inspired you to start the podcast, and especially talk about it in the fashion of sports betting, because that's a very that's a big topic in terms of like research and doing your homework and stuff. So what got you to
absolutely so what got me into it, I'm gonna say shout out to my homie. I'm gonna call him Unknown because that's his Instagram name. We were always into sneakers actually, so I'm actually a sneakerhead too.
All right.
See, I got Supreme, so I'm into that type of stuff. And one time he was like, "You know what? I'm done with it," and I'm like, "What are you talking about?" I didn't hear nothing for months. He goes to Vegas, and ironic enough, the year when Cleveland came back from 3-1, I just see him send me a bunch of winning tickets, and I'm like, "What the hell are you doing?" He was like, "Yeah, I'm in Vegas." So he kind of actually taught me the game about the spreads, the over-unders, the money line. I already knew sports. Sports is something that I've always been knowing. Even though I was young as hell, I still known sports, been around sports. But what really got me into it was more on like, not a lot of people are talking about it like they are now because now it's more legalized and we're starting to see betting more. You see DraftKings commercials, FanDuel
Prize Picks.
Yep.
Absolutely, bro. You see it all there. It's like all in front of your face, even on the internet. And with me now, it's like I understand the game of football, especially. And what really made me like, I'm so into it because I look at numbers and I always have a number in my mind on how I look at the spreads. So I try to help people on, avoiding public plays. I always try to tell people to fade the public. Perfect example would be Game 7. Everybody was all in Indiana. I took OKC -7, and when I went to cash it out, the dealer is telling me you're the only person that cashed it in today. So that tells you, sometimes you have to fade away trends, and I look at it from perspective because I can't look at sports the same no more. Right, you watch ESPN and you see Ravens and Steelers -1. Like it's implemented in your head now because they promote it so much.
Yeah, but and even after halftimes of games too, like they say, "Hey, this was the spread when the game started. Here's the spread now as we go into like the third quarter or the second half of the games and stuff." So I feel you when you say it's kind of changed the way you watch sports and stuff.
Absolutely.
Like I'm a Ravens fan. And the spread on that Bills-Ravens game in the playoffs was 2.5, and they lose by 2 points.
Yeah.
It's like what the hell, man?
Yeah, so they covered, but they didn't win.
Yeah,
so
right.
I love when sports, when people who are aficionados in sports betting come onto the show because it always allows me to ask this question: and I'm sure if I gave you 3 seconds, you would guess what the question I'm going to ask you. Is sports fixed?
Absolutely, to a degree.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Tim Donaghy, look what he did in my Pistons.
Mm-hmm.
Is that not a perfect example?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's what
Pete Rose. I could
Pete
say
Rose,
that was betting on his team.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of people bet against their team, you know, and
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah, Michael Porter Jr.'s brother.
Yeah.
You know, it's crazy because I traveled to Toronto, man, and I actually saw one of those games when he hit a 3, and I saw his face, and I'm like, bro, you barely get any time, bro. Like, I would be happy as hell if I shot a 3. You know what I'm saying? Like, but I mean, it is, man, and I don't think we're ever gonna like not hear about it no more. You hear about Malik Beasley's situation. I almost got a jab at Trey. I'm like, bro, that Pistons game, that last game was not him. He was not fixing that game. I was at that game, unfortunately.
Hey, Maestro, that was the last moment. So
yeah, for sure.
And I hated it. Once I saw that play, I instantly went to. I'm like, bro. So, but you know, I mean, $8 million in debt.
Yeah.
Sports.
Yeah, that's the shocking part.
That's crazy.
That's the part, man.
That is
$8
crazy.
million, bro. Like at this point, you got to think people aren't going to kill you. At this point, they're going to like mess your reputation up because he was on verge of getting a 3-year, $42 million deal. With
Yeah.
That's not happening now. So,
you know, get ready to get a bag, man. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's definitely been fixed, bro. Jordan, I always have my conspiracy with Jordan that the mob's holding no play for a couple years. It's crazy. I know that happened with his father, and it was some situations about that, but. We know also Jordan was a huge gambler, bro. Especially some of his golf buddies. It's been stories.
Yeah.
So, you know, come on, man.
I'll give you another example. The championship game in women's college basketball when it was Paige versus Caitlin in the Final Four a couple years ago.
That was the semifinal game, correct?
It was semifinal game, and I swear to God, man, they took the ball out of Paige's hands because. They knew she was going to drop the dagger to beat Iowa, but everybody and their mama knew everybody wanted Clark to go to the finals in that final game. Yeah,
absolutely. I mean, that Caitlin Clark makes numbers, and I heard what you guys said. Angel Reese, I'm gonna say she's top 5 influence.
Yeah,
I think Paige Bunkers is maybe under Caitlin Clark already. I mean, Bunkers, you can argue might be better than Caitlin Clark. I mean, we're only talking first year, but I mean,
you said Paige maybe better than Caitlin.
Yeah,
I could see that.
Yeah, I'm not totally against it. I mean, look, I'm waiting for Juju anyway, so I ain't worried about neither one of them. So
because it's gonna be Juju's league when she get in there.
Yeah,
let's be clear about that.
She's not going to the Connecticut Sun, right?
Facts. Facts.
But I mean, WNBA is a little different. You see the influence. One player can change a whole lot of like everything. You know, y'all talk about Angel Reese, but I'm a shout out to the other center, Camila Cardoza. She's been balling too, and I mean those two alone as a kind of like a Tim Duncan, David Robinson type duo, and it works.
Yeah, right.
I mean, they've been dominant. I will say that they need the backcourt. I know they got Haley Van Leaf, and she's been kind of up and down with injuries, but they definitely need some shooters in the perimeter, and I think years to come, it'll be a great team.
Yeah, hopefully. That front office is known to not do the best, make the best decisions.
Yeah, get rid of Teresa Weatherspoon. I thought she was doing good last year. Unpopular opinion. She was learning how to coach.
I thought so too. Okay. I didn't think she should have got fired. But I'm not gonna criticize Tyler Marsh because I think he's done what he can with the roster that he had. But I thought they should have brought back Kennedy to the team. I don't know.
Yes, man. Yes, that was their best shooter. And then they trade away the one shooter they had.
Marina. Yeah, they traded Marina to Connecticut, and now she's stuck in Connecticut.
You know what I'm saying? It's crazy, man.
Yeah. So let's get into some football talk real quick. So you was born in Detroit, raised in Charlotte, and you Green Bay Packer fan. So I'm interested to see how that came about. I'm gonna guess it has something to do with a particular player. So what's
well, I was gonna guess that because the Lions were so inept around the time that is
that too.
Yeah.
That too.
I mean, so I'm 31. So to some people, I am younger. A lot of people my age do not believe I saw Barry Sanders in the Pontiac Silverdome. My dad used to take me all the time.
Yeah.
So, like, you can't tell me. I don't care how old you are. If you remember something from back then, you remember it. I don't care if you was 3, 4, whatever.
I was gonna say,
seeing number 20.
Like you was 3 years old or something.
Yes, Barry retired in '98, so I was about 7 when he retired.
7, right?
I remember looking at the jukes, the moves. Like I was a huge Lions fan back then because of Barry Sanders, Herman Moore, Johnny Morton.
Yep.
That was the era. When he retired, but around up, I used to go to a lot of the Packers games, a lot of the division games.
Yeah.
So Brett Favre had an arm and slinging that ball. I know he's a shitty individual.
Yeah. Thank you for bringing that to the table.
Absolutely. I'm not going to praise that. But he had a fucking cannon. And that's what always got me. And then I used to love the run game, of course. So Ahmad Green was one of my favorite running backs during that time also. And the influence to the locks. Mike McKenzie and Al Harris as the corners.
Yes, indeed.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's what I really became a Packers fan. And, you know, when I moved to Carolina, you don't see much Lions games other than Thanksgiving because that's how bad they were. You know, you see Packers games because they're one of those teams that were always good. Yep. Of course, the Panthers, you get spoiled with seeing Michael Vick and you see Julius Peppers on the Panthers teams. You get spoiled with looking at that. So, you know, that's kind of how it happened. I follow Carolina sports still to this day, but Green Bay is still my team. And everyone here in Detroit, they know everybody else but the Lions I'm a fan of. Yeah. Every Pistons, Tigers, go Tigers. I mean, I'm one of those people. Everyone knows that. But when it comes to the Lions, I can't get jiggy with it. I respect that they're doing good, and it's great that they're doing good. But, you know, when they play Green Bay, I'm on my team, man. I roll with them. I don't care if it's Brett Favre, Aaron Rodgers.
I think me and Trey have a similar. I think me and Trey have we both have that similar thing where Trey is New York everywhere outside of football, and I am DC everywhere outside of football. I'm a Wizards fan, a Capitals fan, Nationals fan. Those are the teams that I root for, no matter how much I do or don't pay attention to the sport, because I felt Trey about to say something shady. But I am a fan of those outside of football. I'm a Steelers fan, and then Trey's same. He's a New York fan, Yankees, Knicks, all the things outside of football. He's a Ravens fan. So I think we share that trend.
Yeah, the crazy part though, my father. So I know Trey says PR, right? So I am Black and Puerto Rican. My dad's side is Puerto Rican. They're from the Bronx. That's something that I don't even say. So when I used to visit New York,
what part of the Bronx, man? What part of the Bronx?
I have no part. But
hey, at least you honest about it.
But I know a lot of them did move upstate to Syracuse, so I was kind of between those two areas.
All right.
And my grandmother, I believe, rest in peace to her, the Knicks.
God bless.
The Knicks. And I remember the last conversations or so before she passed, we were talking about basketball. And I said, there's 2 teams in New York now. Don't claim the fucking Brooklyn Nets. That's how you know the rivalry is real with the Knicks. So, obviously she was a Pistons fan when they were good. But, so the culture with me is kind of mixed. I understand New York culture to a degree. Because, I grew up around these people. So
yeah. You grew up in New York. Generally speaking, you root for the New York teams. But there was a period where, the Knicks made the playoffs 14 straight years from 85 to 2000.
2000,
I think it was.
Yeah, that was the lockout year, right?
Yeah, right. The 99 was the lockout year. That's when they made the finals. But they, you go to the playoffs that many times, you're gonna grab the attention of the city.
Absolutely.
And I talk about this all the time with some friends and stuff. It's like New York has 2 of everything, right? Giants and Jets, fan bases are kind of evenly split. Yankees, Mets, fan bases are split. Even with the hockey teams, the fan bases are split. But when it comes to Knicks versus Nets, it's 90-10. Like literally the fan base, the Knicks are the only team in New York that can really galvanize the city in a whole.
It's the market, bro. And then everyone worldwide knows Madison Square Garden. It doesn't matter where you're in the world.
Yeah.
You say Madison Square Garden, they know it's New York. So
And then on top of that, Brooklyn ain't been there that long. They ain't been there long enough to really try to hold a candle to New York, even if that be the case.
Right.
Well, KD, that was their best shot with KD.
Yeah.
Yeah. Toe was on the line, man.
Toe was on the fucking line,
Man,
boy.
Toe was on the line, man.
Games, though, I will say, during that pandemic time, that was one of the greatest games, man.
It was. It was, yeah, for sure. Back to the Packers.
Yes.
Just talk about your expectations for the season. I kind of look back at your record last year, 11-6. I think you guys went. I know there was some losses to some good teams. I know Lions swept you guys, Vikings swept you guys, and Philly got you guys in the opener.
We
last
split with
year.
the Bears.
Yeah. Right. But all the other wins, were against some teams that, a little so-so, but you won 11 games nonetheless. So
correct.
I think there's some expectations, some big expectations for Green Bay coming up.
There's always expectations with the Packers.
Yeah.
There's a reason why, we're called Title Town for a reason. Why one of the greatest coaches is the Super Bowl trophy is named after him, right?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's always going to be playoffs with us or bust. I like the draft picks we got. I like Matthew Golden. We got a speedster. And the one thing that this division does do, they play a lot of press coverage.
Yeah.
This guy would take advantage of that, and he's over the top. I like that. The only problem that I do have with our draft picks is Anthony Belton, the 6'6" left tackle from North Carolina State, hasn't been signed yet. That's a concern with me because we are going to need him because we have more of a hybrid style offensive line, which is not bad, but a 6'6" guy that can be on the left side. And, this is probably the biggest left tackle they have from North Carolina State coming out since Iggy Ekwonu, and look what he's doing with Carolina. So,
right.
That we need to get him in. But I think the guy that no one's going to talk about right now is going to be Savion Williams, another receiver they got from TCU. He's a 6'4" guy. He has the speed. He has raw upside potential. Just needs to improve his route running. But I feel like with Green Bay, you're going to learn how to route run because they have receivers. Now, they never had a one receiver since Devontae Adams.
Yeah.
And you can go back maybe since Antonio Freeman because even though they had the Jordy Nelsons and the Greg Jennings and Donald Drivers, I don't believe they were number one guys. So
I tend to agree.
He could be a number one guy. But listen, Dobbs is good. Christian Watson, he's still battling that injury. He hurt late in the season. Yeah. So, we have receivers by committee. We got tight ends. But our run game is what has to come first with Brandon Jacobs. If you run the rock with him,
Josh Jacobs.
That play action fake with Jordan Love.
Yeah.
That's a problem, bro. So there's always expectations. I like our defense. Look, us getting Xavier McKinney last season was we don't really get big time free agents with Green Bay. I think you guys know that. We really go through the drive. And that's probably why I think we were okay getting rid of Zaire Alexander. Now, the reason why
Thank you for that,
got rid
by
of
the
Zaire,
way.
and I know he's going to the Ravens, there's something has to tell me there's a problem when you keep suspending this guy game after game. Mm-hmm. And ironic enough, every time they suspend him, we won. So I felt like, well, it's just the next man up mentality, and that's what this organization has done. Aaron Rodgers has even mentioned it, right? That's what they do. It's on to the next guy, and this is why they continue to be successful like they are.
So, realistically, I like to take it there because, let me ask you the first question. In your mind, projections to win a division, how high is that?
8 out of 10.
8 out of 10?
Yeah, okay. It's Detroit.
Detroit's the favorite, obviously.
Yeah, absolutely. We have to split. If anything, we have to split.
I tend to believe that you guys are going to win a division. And look, this is July, so pending something changes, it happens differently. I can't see me changing my pick, but I like to note that it's in July in case I get fake and change my mind in August. But I do have you guys winning a division. If you're to win a division, how do you think you guys shape up in the NFC overall?
The NFC every year is wide open.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen
in the last 25 years,
I've seen Kansas City, New England. I see most of those teams go in the AFC all the time. There's always a team in the NFC, other than San Fran. I was just coincidence of that year. So I'll say we're up there with Philly. And honestly, you can argue week one if Jordan Love didn't get hurt in the last few minutes, we probably would have had a chance to win because they were moving the ball down the field till he got hurt.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, I think we can compete with anybody. It's just that Matt LaFleur sometimes, man, I think he gets stale in situations, like tight situations, and like that's the only thing that gets me. But like the first half, first 3 quarters, I think we're pretty competitive. It's just the fourth quarter when I get a little, why are you calling that? Why are you calling this? That's like my only concern.
Yeah, I mean, look, I won't go into window, because I don't know that Green Bay is particularly a team that you look at and say they're in a Super Bowl window per se. I think you look at the Green Bay Packers and say, good team. What do they need to take the next step to be in like Super Bowl contention? I think that's how you look at them in the NFC. But oddly enough, they got an opportunity to surprise you because, like you said, the NFC is wide open. The only team in the NFC that I can honestly say looks like they're one of them teams is the Super Bowl champions. I mean, their trenches are still their trenches.
Absolutely.
Obviously Saquon, Jalen, we won't go down the long list of talent Philly has, but that's the only team in the NFC right now, to me, on paper, that looks like, we know for a fact that when we talk about Super Bowls, they're going to be in the conversation. So I wanted to know how you felt about it, because really it seems that is Philly in the NFC, and then really, like you said, everybody else is wide open to anybody who want to
toss up.
Yeah,
absolutely.
And you can argue Green Bay matches up well with the Eagles. I mean, in those 2 games, the one in the opener last year and then in the playoff game, if a few plays go right for Green Bay, they probably win those games.
Absolutely. I mean, the game was close. I mean, it was a close game, and I mean, injuries. We had like 4 or 5 guys going down that game.
Yeah.
Like, you can't control that. So, yeah, I definitely understand. And I know you guys are saying if you think Green Bay wins the division, I got something for you guys. The win prop is 9.5. I see it easily going over 9.5 wins.
Yeah, for certain.
I would take the over.
For certain.
Absolutely.
For certain. Yeah, for certain.
9.5 to me. Even if they go 10-7 and go second place, that's
right.
Good.
I think 9 wins. Definitely over. Definitely over. Without me looking at their schedule, I would say.
And I got the schedule. I think like some of the bonehead games that I look at as a possible like an alert. They play at New York again, the Giants. They lost the Giants last time when they should easily beat the Giants.
I remember that. That was the Tommy DeVito game. Yeah, I remember that.
Right, bro. The DeVito hype was crazy, bro. And that was a Monday night game.
Yeah.
So, like, like it's games like that is that I wonder, like, we should win, but you know how it goes, man.
Yeah. I was just researching some stuff while you was talking, and Green Bay has the 6th best odds to win the NFC at plus 1,000. Like, I mean that's not bad.
And to be honest with you, I think it should be higher. To be honest with you, we was talking about this last week when we were talking about the NFC South. I mean, Trey tends to believe, and correct me if I'm wrong if I don't remember your thought.
Yep.
That the Tampa Bay Buccaneers right now are a better team than the Green Bay Packers, and I don't agree with that at all.
Well, I'm not biased. I actually agree because they've been beating us.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair.
That's fair. Baker is. I mean, and you can see those games against the Lions. They lost a couple, but then last year, look what Baker took over that whole game.
Baker dog.
Yeah, he beat. Like I said, they beat the champs. The first few weeks of the season, they beat Detroit.
Beat the Lions. They went on the road and beat the Lions.
Yeah. They can compete with those teams now. They could compete with those teams. It's just when you get to the playoffs, and I know Baker does have some wins under his belt, but this past season, I just think they just got caught.
Yeah, I didn't like that play. That little reverse play they tried and the fumble, they never got the ball again after that.
Yeah, right.
And a never-ending conversation to try to rank these teams. And like I said, I think we all could agree if we had to do a power ranking in the NFC, Philly would be number 1, and everybody else is kind of a toss-up. So if the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, in you guys' opinions, are better than the Green Bay Packers, where do the Commanders rank? Because if you're asking me right now, I think the Commanders beat Tampa Bay.
They top 3 right now.
I mean, they went 1-1 against each other last year.
Yeah.
I mean, Washington.
I would put them as the 3rd best team in the conference right now.
So you got right now Philly, Tampa Bay.
Put them 5.
5. Okay. So that means
I don't know about the expectations, bro. Like, we saw it last year with CJ Stroud. Everyone's Jane Daniels, and then when he has that little decline in the season, and it's in the NFC, knowing that the East is going, I think Dallas will be a little bit better too. It's going to be tough. You can't. I mean, you made the playoffs, so when you make the playoffs, you're playing playoff teams in the regular season, and I like Kingsbury, and I feel like if he does great this year as an OC, he easily has another head coaching job. So I think it's true. Now I'm gonna say 5 because they're a high rising team, and what they did last year is what you can argue maybe Carolina did this year: sign veteran guys, low contracts. Let's see what we do. But they have lost a lot of those veteran guys from other teams too. So that's why I have to kind of wonder.
Pay those guys while Bryce Young is on that rookie contract. Yeah.
Right. Terry McLaurin situation, right?
Yeah.
So we just heard about Garrett Wilson. So you think he's not going to look at that money and say, well, he just got paid. I need to get a little bit of something too. So
what was that money, by the way, with Garrett Wilson?
4 years, 32 million.
Yeah, it was something like that.
Okay.
And then
32 a year or 32 for the whole 4 years?
32 a year. No, 32 a year. Come on, man.
32 a year. Okay.
Yeah. You got to pay that.
I got you. The way you said it, I was like, hold on.
And then I had just mentioned, you guys heard me, Sauce Gardner had just got, I just found out he got paid.
Right.
They took care of 2 best players.
Hey, that's what I'm saying. I was a 3-star guy.
Yeah.
Look at him now, right? One of the highest paid guys.
Sauce deserved his money, even though I didn't think he played all that great last year. But
injuries, but he was injured last year, right?
He was hurt. He was hurt for a little bit.
I think the thing with him too, his problem has always been. I think this is a evolution problem of the secondary. They don't tackle no more.
Yeah,
is that just me?
No,
like,
it's not just you.
From the AFC North, you guys got corners.
Well, we still tackle in the North, so it's a problem we don't know about. But it does seem like that across the league. It's starting to get watered down. I agree. I agree with it. It just is what it is at this stage of the game. I mean, people are making business decisions because they realize more than ever the NFL is indeed a business and not the sport we love as much.
Yep. And the contracts aren't guaranteed. So
that part.
You got to try to get money as much as you can while trying to stay healthy.
Yeah. That's crazy that we came to this world.
These odds, though, like I said, Green Bay has the 6th best odds to win the conference. You could guess which 5 teams is ahead of Green Bay. I mean, the Eagles is 1, Detroit 2, of course. Rams is 3 at plus 800. The Niners.
The Niners there.
Listen, a lot of people are thinking the Rams are just going to easily win the West. I think the Niners still have a chance. They got rid of some of those players they had to get rid of for contracts, but I mean, Kyle Shanahan is a good coach, right?
What concerns me about the 49ers on first thought is Ayuk is not 100% yet. Christian McCaffrey got his issues. Is Brock Purdy really going to be that guy without Ayuk being 100%? Deebo Samuels, say what you want about Deebo Samuels, because I don't think he's the best route runner in any stretch of the imagination, but he's a good utility piece, and it helps.
And Juwan Jennings was in the news for something.
Oh yeah,
Juwan Jennings.
I didn't hear that.
I don't know if it was a contract dispute or you asking for more money, but I saw his name floating around social media the past couple of days. So
this is the time to be asking for money, apparently, because like Garrett Wilson got money. Is another receiver.
Training camp is coming up too.
They
go want their players.
Yeah, so
that's true.
It's definitely the time to be asking for money. Terry McLaurin obviously asking for money, so this is the time to ask for money. I mean, at every position, but particularly wide receiver, it seems right now.
Yeah, especially with the 49ers. I think so. This is why I think they're not. Everyone's kind of not really paying attention. I think their defense is going to get back to what they used to do because They got Robert Saleh back at DC.
Yeah.
And I mean,
I heard
you can argue with the Jets, it didn't work out, but when he left that Jets team, did you see how bad that defense got?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like the coaching is somewhat there. You know, the running game is what they do. They run the ball and then they open up everything.
Offensive line, man. Offensive line.
Yeah. So
one of the best.
They know what they're doing when it comes to the run game. CMC has to be the guy, yes. But they got second guys, third guys. That's the Shanahan running system. You see that even in Miami. That's just how that is. Like, you know, so they have a chance. With the Rams, though, I do like them, though, right? Devontae Adams, Puka Nacua, Kyron Williams. I don't think they're bad. You know, Jared Verse, I think he's besides Aiden Hutchinson, I think the most long shot defensive player of the year will probably be Jared Verse. I loved what he did as a rookie.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, you could argue that was all pro numbers for a rookie. I've never seen somebody that instant make an impact like that. So, and they got that big white boy Frisk. So they got some players on defense. Their defense is actually very good. I will.
We talk about it all the time with how good that defense has been since Aaron Donald retired. Like you know, for certain, I didn't think this defense was going to be good without Aaron Donald, and you know, like not sneaky, not for nothing. They was a pretty good defense last year. So Who that was? What was the fifth team? I thought you said 4 teams that had the odds.
Philly, Detroit, the Rams, the Niners, and then that 15 with the 5th best odds, the Commanders.
Okay.
It kind of makes sense, but I'm surprised the 49ers is kind of in that.
I'm surprised the 49ers.
In terms of odds,
I'm surprised the 49ers. And, maybe not the Rams. I'm not surprised at the Rams, but definitely the 49ers. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. For real. So I think it's safe to say in this division, the NFC North, it's really a 2-team race. It's Green Bay and it's Detroit. What about the Vikings? Because I don't think they're going to win 14 games like they did this past season, but they're really an intriguing team with now JJ McCarthy taking over as the starter for the season, and you still have weapons all over the place on this Vikings team and a defense that, can be top 5 if it really wants to. What is this team competing for? Well, I think they are going to be competing for a wild card, but are they going to be able to sustain it? Because the Vikings historically have had these like ebbs and flows of a season. Like one year they win 13 games, and next year they win 6 games, and then year after that, they win 10 games. It's just amazing with this franchise. Well, what's your thoughts?
Yeah, so I think I saw they win total. I got it right here. I see it. It's at 8.5.
Yeah, that's more what I'm thinking too.
And I kept going back and forth. I wanted to say under and thought 8 wins was perfect, but then I also could see him winning 9 games. I don't see a 7-loss team in this division, to be quite honest with you. But with the Vikings, I think there's a lot of uncertainty because we didn't see a pass from J.J. McCarthy other than that one dime he threw in preseason. Then you found out he's out for the season.
Yeah.
Right.
So that is the uncertainty part with them. I mean, they got a defense, though. So I think a lot of their games will be competitive. It's just, is J.J. going to be the guy? Now, they got Kevin O'Connell, who is a quarterback. And I think, listen, you got arguably one of the best receivers in the game and Justin Jefferson.
Yeah.
So, that's a good start. It's kind of like having Randy Moss, right? Damn near. Jordan Addison. I'm going to say Mario Addison. Jordan Addison is a good guy. Aaron Jones as a former Packer, he can be good, but they don't have a number 2 running back that I know from the top of my head. So, if he goes down, which I've seen numerous times over and over, your running game is going to be stacked.
Where did Cam Akers go in Minnesota? Where did Cam Akers go, the guy who was there last year?
Oh, he might still be there. I forgot all about that.
No, he's a free agent. No.
Oh.
I just answered my own question. He's a free agent because when
is he?
Because when me and you, unless he got signed since the last time we had this conversation, but when me and you had this conversation about when Najee Harris left Pittsburgh, I was fed up and in my feelings. I was like, let's go get Nick Chubb cheap. Let's go get Cam Akers cheap. and and let's sort this whole thing out. Obviously, this was before the draft when we drafted our running back, who I think is going to be the Bell Cow and Caleb Johnson. But I was definitely like, hey man, let's just go and get some veterans and shoot for the fences.
Cam Akers was signed.
Where was he signed?
To the Saints.
Ooh.
Okay, that's sneaky good.
That's
sneaky good. That's sneaky good. That's sneaky good.
Sure. Yeah, for sure. I don't expect nothing from the Saints this year, but
no, but
I expect a couple upsets from the Saints though. Maybe week 1. We'll talk about that
enough because we just reviewed the South last week. Enough to change where they rank in your mind.
Oh, they're still the bottom team. Don't get me wrong.
Exactly.
But I mean, with Kellen Moore, I remember him from his Boise State days as a quarterback.
Yeah.
You can look at him as a coordinator with Dallas and with Philly. I think they're going to be a run-first team. It's just, I mean, they just to have that aging defense. That defense is, I mean, bro, I think we could have a better chance being on the defense starting and doing something better than what I've seen. So.
And they're way over the cap too. Like as far as the money's concerned,
Cam Jordan. Over. You pretty much have to hope he's retiring soon to get some of that contract money back. I believe they still have Tyrann Mathieu, so you kind of overpaid him at this point in his career.
Jeez.
You couldn't pay Marshawn Lattimore, so you had to trade him away.
Right. Commanders fans loving that. So projections in the North, it sounds like you have, or you correct me if I'm wrong, it sounds like you have Packers, Lions, Minnesota, Chicago.
I'm going to actually go Chicago number 3.
And Minnesota 4?
Minnesota 4.
Obviously.
And I didn't talk about the Lions. Let's talk about this one. And I know I'm like the villain in Detroit when it talks about the Lions. I know I'm like the biggest villain. I think this is like one of the hardest schedules they ever have.
Yeah.
I've ever seen. Like every game, you're like, can they win this one?
Rams and Eagles.
I got it here. So week 1 is Green Bay.
Yeah.
And this is where you're going to with a brand new coordinators.
Yeah, I was just ready to tell you how you feeling about how you feel they're gonna be without Ben Johnson.
So the thing about Dan Campbell, I give him, he shows his loyalty. And what I mean by that is he got the guy from New Orleans that was the play caller last year. And you can argue, look what Derek Carr was able to do you can argue that. So I think they should be a run-first team because they got 2 great running backs. Yes, you got St. Brown, but listen, Gibbs is maybe the closest thing we've seen here to Barry Sanders as far as the speed. I'd say he's more like an Alvin Kamara in this league as a nowadays player.
Well, I was just going to say that. I was just going to say he's more like
Alvin Kamara. I love it. He can catch up the backfield. One cut and he's up 5-10 yards on the field. Sam Laporta, I think one of the most underrated tight ends in the NFL. I like what he can do. He can block. He can catch for you. He just need to stay healthy. Now, on the defensive side, defensive coordinator, Calvin Shepard. I know I'm getting old when I can remember a college football player from LSU now as a coach. That's how I remember him. He was a great linebacker. And you can argue I know we watched the Hard Knocks years ago when they were on there. Look what he did with Malcolm Rodriguez. He was a stud. You look at what Jack Campbell has been doing. I think he's a great run support linebacker. I don't think he's a good pass coverage linebacker. But that's why they pay all that money for Barnes. I'm a little suspect on that. I mean, he's not a bad player, but he's their best coverage linebacker, I will say. So,
what about the defense on Detroit too? Because you got a bunch of guys coming off of the injury report from last year, and how are these guys going to look when they get back?
Yeah, so that defensive line, to see Hutch, doing box workouts, jumping up, jumping high, you're like, okay. He's young. He's only like, 23, 22. So, those injuries for people when you're younger, bro.
I didn't even realize he was still that young. It seemed like he's been here forever.
Yeah, I think this is entering his 4th year.
Right?
So,
he's about 24. In the past couple of years, it does feel like he's been in the league a while.
Yeah, because I remember the combines when he was like 21. So, it's around that time. I did kind of mention with Jared Verse. I think he could be a defensive player of the year candidate. You could argue before the injury, he probably was defensive player of the year with the impact he had. he led the league in sacks, and he was out for 3 weeks.
3 weeks, yeah.
I mean, that speaks volume. So I think the thing about their secondary is the thing too. You know, you got Kirby Joseph. He's a head knocking top safety. Brian Branch, who I think is honestly their most utility-wise defensive back, because he can play safety. He's playing corner in the nickel. I mean, he can do all of that. Now, I like Terrion Arnold, and you know, everyone's gonna say he's real handsy. He's real handsy to be a corner, but you guys just got DJ Reed from New York who does the same thing.
Yeah.
So I think that's would be the biggest question would be, can they not get too handsy after the 5 yards? Because a lot of penalties. I know I'm not gonna just crap on what Terrion Arnold has done, but DJ Reed has done the same thing with New York. Yeah. So
if I recall, they would get a lot of pass interference penalties in Detroit. They are a press team, and they pay the penalty for that. You know, me personally, I like that style. I let's go straight up man on man. Let's just play football personally. So I respect them for doing that. I think this is definitely Detroit Lions. The defense is definitely where they're going to fall short. I mean, are they going to produce points at the same clip that they did last year? No, but are they going to be serviceable? A serviceable offense? Yeah, I mean, those players are those players. They'll be fine. But I do think that is going to be the major step that would have them be number 2 in the division as opposed to number 1.
Yeah, that's my thing. I don't see, last year I would see games where they were like putting 50 burgers on teams.
Yeah.
Even the worst teams. And you're like, damn, this is Detroit doing this.
Yeah.
I don't think they do this year. I'm not saying it's not going to be high scoring games possibly, but blowing teams out by like 40.
Yeah, that won't be happening.
I don't think so. Not with this schedule. And the catch is that most of their road games, 9 road games this year, right? 8 of them are playoff teams. So, that's the tough part for me. When you got to play at Philly, you got to play at Baltimore Monday night.
Yep.
I didn't forget a couple years ago how they got whooped by Baltimore. I mean, I didn't forget that.
Yeah.
So, there's a lot of tough games. Dallas, which they're coming to Detroit, but
yeah, and they play the whole AFC North, if I'm not mistaken. I think
the whole AFC North.
Is that right, Maestro? We got the NFC. We got the whole NFC North. Right.
Yeah.
It's gonna be tough sledding, man.
You got to play at the Rams, and at this point, that is a rivalry ever since the trade. They've been playing almost every year ever since that trade.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, for sure.
It's some tough ones, man. I see 10.5, and I'm saying 10. And they can win a game that they maybe should not win. Like if they play Philly, there's a possible chance they could beat Philly. But
I agree. I might go to under on that 10.5.
Yeah, 10.5. I might go
under.
That's spot the hell on to me. I said 10 games, man.
Yeah.
What's Detroit?
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Nah, I was just making sure. I was just making a call. Yeah, Detroit 10.5. I got. Because I think I got Green Bay. I think I got Green Bay winning 11. That's what I think. That's what I think I'm sold on. Green Bay winning 11. So I'll take the under. I guess they could win 10 and still lose the division. But I think I'm still gonna go under 2.
Yeah, just based on the Lions and.
But the Lions winning 9 games sounds crazy though. I guess you got to base the schedule, but base it on the schedule.
Right. Yeah, I got the schedule. So if y'all,
I would love. I would love to hear the schedule.
So week 1, they play at Green Bay.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I'm going to say Packers. I think they split. I'm going to go Packers, but they do play Thanksgiving.
Don't give me the marking up wins and losses here.
This will be 2 weeks in a row.
I know, right?
The Bears, I believe at home they should beat the Bears.
Yeah.
But we'll talk about that one. I think Ben Johnson, listen, he knows what Dan Campbell likes.
He knows what they want. Yeah.
And they improved the offensive line.
Yeah, the Bears are the most slept-on team, I think, in the division because the guy knows the division.
Yeah.
He knows every coach like to do.
Yep.
He knows what Dan Campbell – he knows if it's 4th and 2. Stay on. He already knows. Stay on the field.
Yeah, right.
So
right.
I think that is the thing. And I know we didn't talk about the Bears, but Dennis Allen, I don't think he's a good head coach. But
I agree. He's a good coordinator.
And what did I say about Dan Campbell? New Orleans ties. The ties are there.
Mm-hmm.
You getting Luther Burden in the second round, who was a top 10 prospect.
Yeah.
That's the steal. You know, the running game should be good. The offensive line, you got what's his name, Tooney from Kansas City.
From Kansas City, yeah.
You got players. The defense is what I think might be a little in, because outside of Sweat, I don't know another D lineman they got that's good.
Neither do I.
I thought they were good last year, though. I thought overall, I thought they were good. I just think the turning point in that Bears season was the Hail Mary in DC.
I agree.
That was a turning point in their season.
I bet in Washington that game, and I'm like, this is over. Like when they got the 2-point conversion, I was like, how are they gonna? And then all of a sudden, I looked up and was like, they just won. I didn't even see the play until they showed the replay. I was like,
right,
yeah.
That shit was crazy.
That broke the Bears the rest of the season, man.
Yeah, I had them actually. What was their run total? I had them under 9.5. And when they were winning those games, I knew it was going to be that turning point because they were playing teams that just weren't good.
Yeah.
They should have beat the Colts.
I remember
they had a chance to beat
early on, their schedule was kind of light, and then
we was talking Bears is 4-2, and I'm like, come on, man, like
Jacksonville, Carolina.
I'll say this too: we didn't realize how great that division turned out to be. I mean, remember the Lions won 15 games, Vikings won 14 games, and Green Bay won 11. So there was a point in the season where all 4 of those teams were above 500. It was like maybe week 5, week 6, week 6, something like that. So we didn't realize at that point that the division was going to be that damn good.
Yeah, and I do like them at 7.5 going over. I do think this team is at 8.
I do too.
7.5.
That's probably why I have the Bears at 3 and the Vikings at 4.
I could see him winning 8.
Yeah, but
I could see him.
How you feel about Caleb Williams going into the season?
I mean, I always feel like this. They beat us last year, and it was because of him. I always like the fact that I always believe if you can win at the end of the season, bad team, horrible team, good team, it's a good start for next year. And I think that's the motivation factor. You know, Ben Johnson's going to have. He made Jared Goff look like an MVP.
Yeah.
I would have never thought Jared Goff was an MVP.
Yeah,
but Caleb Williams, I'm not saying MVP year, but I think there's a huge step. You know, kind of like what we seen with C.J. Stroud and Bryce Young. Bryce Young a little bit got better, while C.J. Stroud was a little stagnant. So, that's why I think about the Commanders and with Jaden and Caleb Williams. It may be a similar situation where I think Washington would still make the playoffs, but Caleb Williams is going to develop a lot better than we did last year.
Okay, I can see that. I mean, I think a lot of Jaden's. We won't harp on the East, the NFC East yet until that episode, but I think a lot of it. I think we don't give enough credit to the offensive play calling against Washington last year. The play calling was so good.
Queensberry's a great coordinator. That's why I say he'll get a head coaching job if they're top 5 offense again. That's just how it goes in this league.
Yeah.
But Trey, with the Lions, I do want to give you some key games though. I'm not going to break down the whole schedule. Let's talk about some key games though.
Yeah.
At Kansas City. But before that, you got at Cincinnati. So you got at Cincinnati and at Kansas City.
Tough stuff. Yeah.
I mean, then you play Tampa, which we just talked about is capable of beating anybody. Then you got Minnesota, which I think they'll sweep Minnesota. Commanders, they know how to beat you.
They know,
to be honest, they know how to beat you.
Yeah.
You gotta go to Philly. That's going to be a tough one. And then they play the Rams, Cowboys, and then they play the Steelers, which I don't know what to expect for Pittsburgh. I'm an Aaron Rodgers guy.
But it ain't gonna be. But it's not gonna be easy for Detroit, though. I'll tell you that much.
And I'm actually gonna give Pittsburgh a win against Green Bay, because they made it Sunday Night Football for a reason, so Aaron Rodgers can have history. Beating. Yeah. I already know that's what it's gonna come down to. That's just how it's set up to be.
Well, I would love. I mean, even though I was not a proponent of signing Aaron Rodgers. He's here now, so I'm going to support him like I never said any of that shit. So we hope what's best for him. I hope what's best for him. If we can do anything before he retires, can we please just get out of the wild card round, and I'll be absolutely fine.
Well, you got 1 year.
Yeah, only 1 year.
He already announced he's going to retire after this year, so you got 1 year to prove it.
Retirement tour.
What I do love about it though is that he didn't take a lot of money, and he could have asked for 25 million, 25 to 30 million, and we probably would have had to pay it. So I like that he didn't take a lot of money. I hope that he is looking forward to trying to help Will Howard develop. Because at this stage of the game, look, I've been hearing a lot of people shitting on Will Howard. 6th round draft pick. I mean, this dude was the championship quarterback last year in college, man. Like, I gotta give him a chance, man. I gotta give him a chance. We drafted him. Hope some of that young Aaron Rodgers rub off on him, no homo. And and let's shoot for the I just want a franchise quarterback. That's what I want. As a Pittsburgh Steelers fan, I've been spoiled. I want a franchise quarterback, and I want one fucking now.
Gotta wait at least a year for that.
Man, what, man? I still, when y'all drafted Kenny Pickett, I was like, that was the worst draft for quarterbacks ever.
Man.
Like, I can't think of, maybe since, the Christian Ponder era, that's maybe, the last worst draft for quarterbacks.
Yeah, and that was bad, too. But this one was bad. This one was bad. And I said it all through free agency, March, April. Don't draft. I mean, I know they're going to draft Kenny Pickett. I know they're going to do it. But I don't want Kenny Pickett. I don't want Kenny Pickett. And I protested on this platform week after week after week. And we went ahead and did it. And, now he's in Cleveland fighting with Shedeur Sanders and Tyler. What's his name? Gabriel?
Doug Gabriel, Joe Flacco, and Deshaun Watson.
Yeah. 5-team quarterback
quarterback team. Yep.
Thank you.
I want to ask Trey a quick question. So now that you got Zaire Alexander, what's your thoughts on that with the cornerback situation? I'm aware of Nate Wiggins. I think he didn't have a bad rookie year. Marlon Humphreys is getting old. I don't think he's an outside corner. I think he's always more of a slot-in corner.
Yeah.
They're going to make him play more slot. Yeah. I think this coming season, they're going to put Humphrey in that slot position, and Nate's going to play one side, to take his spot. But as far as the secondary is concerned, honestly, I don't want to hear nothing about the regular season because I know what to expect from this team in the regular season.
Yeah, absolutely.
All I care about is January. And, Lamar is taking some hits in the media as far as performance in the playoffs. I thought he upped his stock in the Buffalo game with the second half.
Oh, yeah.
But when you look at those games, when you look at those playoff games in which Lamar has started, the defense has only forced 2 turnovers in 8 games in the playoff.
That's crazy.
That's gotta change. And it's I think, Maestro, I said this to you maybe months ago. It's Lamar's the leader of the team, and obviously that's the case. But if something go wrong on the offensive side, it seemed like the defense can't make that game-changing play to get the ball back to the offense. But once the offense is rolling in these games, defense could do what they want. So for me, I'm looking at this defense being able to produce some turnovers in these playoffs. Make a game-changing play, an interception, a 4th down sack, a forced fumble, or something. That's what I'm looking for. I could care less about the regular season. Obviously, I'm going to watch all the games. I might even get a ticket to a game this year at the stadium.
Man.
But
man, that's a great experience, man. It's a great experience going to a game, man.
Yeah, for sure, man.
Yeah, I went to Houston. I went to Houston last year for my birthday. And I went to when they played Miami, and I'm like, I understand why NRG gets everything. You know how that stadium gets everything. You're that stadium, it's top notch, man. So
yeah,
I am definitely into traveling, and I actually plan on going. Talk about AFC North. I plan on going to Denver for Monday Night Football when the Bengals play Denver. So I am big time in Colorado. That is my little scenery area, but I am to stuff like that, man.
I could guess why.
Well, I mean, why do you do that when it's in Michigan, right?
Yeah,
So
Well,
fact.
yeah, that's true. That's
Fact.
true.
You know, it's the same thing in
That's
Maryland.
true.
I'm well
That's
aware
Yeah,
of it.
fact.
So,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
it's.
Yeah.
I mean, me, I like scenery, man. You know, I like mountains and shit. So, you know, I've been to a Nuggets game the year they won the NBA championship. I went to a playoffs game.
Nice.
So, yeah,
Nice.
you know, Denver is nice. I like Denver, man. But
Nice.
football, I mean, that's what I say about sports, man. You can go anywhere and have a hell of a good time with sports, man. So.
Yeah. Yeah, for you to go to a game that's not your team, that's really saying something.
Yeah, for real.
You know,
Just got blended like Waldo. That's all.
Yeah. But I ain't gonna front because Maestro, you know, I've lived here in the area 20-something years. I've gone to plenty of Wizards games where they don't play the Knicks. You know what I mean? That building downtown is, to me, is one of the best arenas in the NBA.
Okay, what do you think about that? Because I remember we were talking about it, I think maybe last year when the Wizards were in the process of maybe moving.
Yeah.
And I said about the infrastructure, and you like supported it because I'm obviously you've been to that arena and I haven't, but from what I've seen from Wizard games, from the Mystics games, from watching Georgetown games, you look like, why is the interior design set the way it is? Like why they? But then I see where the area is at. It's like kind of all clustered in. So
well, it's one of those areas, and Maestro could speak more to it because he's the native. I'm the adopted son of the DMV, but I've been to a lot of games at that building, and culturally, after every Wizards game, you go downstairs and there's a place called Clyde's where everybody hangs out at, and that's what you do. You go to Wizards game, go downstairs, you go right to Clyde's after the game. And not to mention, you know, I'm a big public transportation guy, and the station is literally right, you know, you walk right up the stairs, you're walking right in the arena. So it's very, very accessible no matter what part of the DMV you're coming from.
Yeah, for me, don't move it. Just don't move it. It's in the middle of downtown DC. That's where all the, you know, if you were to do a documentary on the Wizards, all the B-roll you need is right outside of Clyde's, literally, and maybe a block, between that proximity of that block between Clyde's, the street loses me, but that block, everything you need for B-roll is right there. You know what I'm saying? It's just a cultural thing for me. That's how I remember. That's how I remember it. You know, I was too young to necessarily go to the Capitol Center back in the days in the '90s. So for me, that's how I remember. That's the way it should be. It should be in DC, not in Virginia.
And by the way, that deal is dead. By the way,
yeah, it's completely dead.
Yeah.
I honestly, and I like Virginia. Listen, I've been to all parts of DMV. I've been to Baltimore. I love Baltimore. I know it gets
which is not part of the DMV, by the way. Just for clarity.
Oh,
Baltimore is not part of the DMV
at all.
I didn't. Okay, so long story short, my mom had like this. She was dating this guy that was from there, and he would always call it DMV. So like, I kind of was saying it, but then it's like it's crazy. Y'all saying y'all been there, and it's like okay, that makes a lot of sense. But like, I like Virginia, so I thought maybe if they were to move it to Virginia Beach, I thought that would have been ideal. But yet again, it is very small, and I do think most of the DMV is very clustered because it's like that East Coast type style.
Yeah.
So
right,
keep it in DC. You're right. We keep it in DC.
Keep it in DC.
Yeah,
keep it on DC. They gonna be hitting on the buckets outside. It just feels different. You know, Chinatown. You go get. You know, it's all right there, bro. Like just stay where you at. Just stay where you at.
That's how it feels now with Detroit. You know, now that all our teams is downtown. You know, we had the Pistons. They were on Auburn Hills forever. The Palace on Auburn Hills. Perfect example. So driving 40 minutes up there to driving 15 minutes downtown to LCA, I love it. And you're right with the culture, especially with I could say all sports have been better. You know, especially the Red Wings, they're trying to get better, but all the other three teams are in the playoffs. So that's
a fact.
I visited your city maybe 4 summers ago. Me and my wife, we did like a Midwest like car trip, whatever. We stayed in Detroit for a night, went to a Tigers game and all that. But yeah, that city's popping. Like it literally was the best stop on our road trip. Like there's a lot to do in Detroit downtown. They've done a lot with the area there, so it was cool.
Yeah, we gotten better, and that's why I said I can kind of compare, Baltimore to Detroit. We are kind of, because we get the bad reputation.
Yeah.
And I always feel like you need to come here, and then you'll start thinking like, okay, we're not as bad as you think we are.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
Hey, Maestro.
Yeah.
Maestro, our boy Silas has got a question for you, man.
PG County is the DMV. Yes, PG County is essentially the heart of the DMV. If you're talking about the Maryland part of it,
yes, for sure.
It's where I am right this second. Shout out to PG County.
Yep. Buddy C Hen, what's going on?
What up, though? What
up, though? No doubt. Hey, last question for you, man. Top 5 players in the division going into the season, NFC North.
Okay. Not in order, but
no
Jordan
order.
Love. I mean, that's obviously the quarterback for the Packers who can lead us to victory. Got to go with Jordan Love. I expect big things from him as usual. Hutch, I think Aiden Hutchinson is going to have a great defensive player of the year candidate. I mean, obviously, maybe the easiest for comeback player of the year. Knowing that's now a new thing too. I don't see why not. I think that's a home run hit if you like that. But
I think so.
Justin Jefferson. I mean, obviously one of the best receivers in the league.
Yep.
To me, maybe our modern day Randy Moss. You can't go wrong with that one. Jahmyr Gibbs. I mean, this guy is explosive, and I could add an honorable mention to say him and Montgomery. Nothing to sign. I could say that because those guys alone, that's just thunder and lightning. So if you make sure you're going to worry about the speed with Gibbs, and then next thing you know, it's 2nd and 2. Montgomery might break out for a 20-yard run on you.
Exactly.
Just off of 2nd and 1 down.
Exactly.
And lastly, of course, I got to say Josh Jacobs, man. I mean, the acquisition with him coming to Green Bay, that mean ground and pound is what makes us so good. If Jordan Love's not having a good game, Jacobs can definitely do what he got to do. So I definitely, since I gave you 6, as I said Montgomery, I think that's a pretty solid list.
Yeah. That's a solid one. I might go. There's no way I could have a top 5 list and not have Penei Sewell in there. He's one of the best offensive linemen in football. I might put him there along with Justin Jefferson, Jahmyr Gibbs, Josh Jacobs, and a Jordan Love. That probably would be my 5 right there.
Yeah, I give you Penei Sewell for sure. I mean, they moved him from right tackle. I mean, and I feel like anybody who didn't play college ball during the pandemic and has been a splash like him and Jamar Chase, I have to give you respect for that. Michael Parsons. Those guys did play 1 down in college and got ready, and hey, they're one of the best All-Pro players for a reason.
Yeah, for sure. I'm just trying to figure out how I could add a player that was different from everybody's list. And you went and took Penei Sewell because that was the person that I was going to take. Definitely Justin Jefferson. Definitely Jahmyr Gibbs for me. Definitely Penei Sewell for me. I think I'll go Hutchinson. And if we're talking about just going into the year, I'll throw a different quarterback in there just for the sake of evolution. I'll throw Caleb Williams in there.
Okay.
I'll throw Caleb Williams in there.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, he is from DC. That's right.
Yeah. You read right through.
Hey, I wasn't out of college too, so I started realizing where these guys are from. It makes sense.
Yeah, C had mentioned Amon-Ra.
And I can't disrespect.
Nobody.
I'm more disrespect for not mentioning.
Can't disrespect Amon-Ra. For sure.
I mean,
listen, third down machine.
So they deserve that money. All right, St. Brown was a 4th-round pick receiver. The Lions have paid their guys that are worth the money, worth it, and you can't be mad at that.
Yeah, for sure. And like I said, we definitely got to shout out for people paying their guys on time without a whole bunch of hassle. Evaluate your team and take care of the people that you got to take care of before it becomes a problem. So yeah, definitely Yeah, you gotta take care of your people. On
Don't
side
be like
side.
Jerry.
Yeah, no, because it's funny.
I wouldn't say that. What about the Bengals? Don't be like Paul Brown though. Come on, man.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
Even
I thought I saw somewhere where that kid said he was going back to college.
Stewart, I don't even know why they drafted him. The guy only had 2 sacks in his whole career.
I wasn't super. Yeah, about to say I was not super hip to him. I just know that he was causing a lot of trouble, and I'm down for trouble in Cincinnati. So that's
facts.
I'm down for trouble in Cincinnati because the way I see it, Joe Burrow is going to be on a tear. I know he likes to start slow in the beginning of the season, but I don't see him doing anything less of what he normally does.
Whole team likes to start slow.
And I know you guys talk about first best bet. So week 1, I actually think Cleveland is going to beat the Bengals. Bengals do this every year. They lose the first. I don't know what it is. They lost to New England last year as a 13-point favorite.
Yeah,
You lose to them. You lose to Pittsburgh. I mean, I just don't understand this team.
But Joe Burrow's record against the Browns isn't all that great either.
It's not.
Too.
Yeah.
So and I mean, with Joe Flacco, at least week 1, you expect him to at least sling the ball out. You know that.
Yeah.
I mean, Myles Garrett, while he's healthy, this offensive line for Cincinnati has always been a problem. And 5.5. The Browns, I'm only going to take the spread. I'll take them to win. And by the way, that is a huge public favorite. Is definitely going to be the Bengals.
The Bengals. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree.
Mm-hmm. So what's the bet? So as far as like Super Bowl odds and stuff, like what would be your like? Because look, the higher the it's the value. All of the bets are valued, but like what would be the one bet that you would make on a team to win the Super Bowl this coming year?
Like a sleeper pick. Like a sleeper.
A sleeper where you can where the odds are pretty high,
money.
But you can maximize the money. Yeah.
You see, I'm like, oh, this is a good one, man. This is the whole AFC, NFC, right?
Yep.
I'm gonna say it for Trey. I'm not even being biased. I think Baltimore has the most. I think Baltimore.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I thought it was plus 320. I think to win the Super Bowl. I think that's the best odds out of everybody right now.
The only problem with AFC, Kansas City's still going to be around, and it's Buffalo. That's their 2 teams they had to get over up against.
Yep.
But I mean, I think the Ravens have a very possibility chance. They got receivers. I think DeAndre Hopkins is going to contribute. He don't have to be receiver 1, receiver 2.
Because he definitely ain't going to be.
Bateman has not been bad, and I know Trey, you rave about Bateman from last season.
Yep.
No injury problems. That was my biggest problem.
Facts.
Every time I see him, he was injured. Zay Flowers is good. Their offensive line is good. They run the ball. The defense. I mean, that's really what it is. It's just up to the playoffs. And if Andrews would have caught that ball, we're possibly talking about Ravens Chiefs in the AFC Championship.
But what did I tell you about that spread and that total? It was 50. It was 55.5.
Yeah,
and that was 52 points. I think was
And I think, by the way, best bet. I think they beat Buffalo week 1.
Okay, I like that. I like the sound of that.
I'm going with the underdog on that one. Absolutely.
Gonna rile the homie Silas up in the chat. But
hey man, it's all about value, and like that's why like week 1, like why you can get these lines now.
Yep,
I would bet them. Is it risky because training camp is coming up? Injuries,
right?
Yeah.
But sometimes you just have to risk it. And that's like my approach. So I plan on fading a lot of the public week 1. A couple other games I'm going to mention: Lions, Packers. The public is all over the Lions. That tells me something.
Oh, of course, of course.
And we talk about the Saints, and the Cardinals are a public favorite as well. 5.5 minus 5.5. I think the Saints has a chance to win this game. It sounds crazy.
Yeah. Those week 1 games are always
that's not super crazy when you talking about week 1, you're not super crazy.
Yeah, but also when it comes to the public, man, and I have to think about Vegas. They usually try to get the people that are sunken into the public. But the one thing, I'm not gonna knock the public that bad, because what I will say, the last 2 years of analyzing this, the public has been winning. I will give them that.
I've noticed that.
Yeah,
I've noticed that on some games too. Yeah.
So
yeah.
But there's times where I'm like, nah. Like I will admit, I also got another one that I did place. I like Miami to win week 1 against the Colts, and everyone's all on Miami. So you see how like even I can look at it and be like, well, it makes sense.
I could see that going either way too.
Yeah, either way.
Well, hey,
you know what I mean?
One don't have his mind right, the other one can barely throw with the right shoulder. So
yeah, facts.
That's a fact.
And if Daniel Jones comes in, the Colts might win. You're right. So see,
my mistake on the odds for the Ravens. They're plus 650 to win the Super Bowl, and then it's Buffalo at plus 700, Eagles 750, Chiefs 800, Detroit 1,000, Rams 1,800.
Hey man, where the Steelers at, man?
So then I guess you could say Kansas City too. That's plus 800 for Kansas City.
4,300, Maestro.
Thank you.
I mean,
go ahead and put that dollar up.
Yeah, man.
All right, throw 25 on it, man. You know, you give something for $25.
Yeah, I might throw 25 on Pittsburgh, man.
Go ahead, put that money up.
Nothing wrong with it, man.
What have you got to lose?
$25.
Right.
That's it.
Yeah,
$25, bro. Now $100 to some people I can understand, but $25.
Yeah. I think I can handle $25.
Yeah, you can get about 2,000, 15.
Yeah.
There you go.
Never mad at that.
Go ahead,
Never mad at that.
That's a good bet for you.
Hey, 20. I'm on it.
That is amazing.
I wouldn't bet it.
That
That
is
is
great.
great.
In the playoffs.
Yeah.
They're always somewhere around the playoffs anyway. So
yeah. Right.
Yeah, for sure.
Hey, Kiante, man, this was fun. Talking bets and NFC North football and all this good stuff, man. Let everybody know where they can find you at. Talk about the podcast and then anything that you got coming up.
Man, I appreciate you guys for having me, man. Shout out to the DMV, man. It's always all love over there. Y'all can follow me on YouTube, Pays and Plays Podcast. Hey, man, football season, they know, man. We win. We really last 2 years, over 60% of wins, best bets. I mean, it came to a point where I have to make a Patreon now. You be aware of that because I even have my subs telling me like, yo, like you're winning way too much now to just be giving this up for free. And
right.
I'm not gonna tax the world on Patreon, so be on tune for that. I'm actually gonna make a video talking about just the mindset of betting and like how you can prepare for it, how to deal with it, just ways to approach it. You can follow my Instagram page, Pays and Plays _podcast. My regular Instagram page is yo_key_. And also I'm on X, yo4os _key as well. Yeah, man, all around good vibes, man. And I just want us to win some money, bro. We all want some extra money, man.
Yeah, for sure, man.
Times of the year. So, NBA, WNBA, that's really what I've been on lately.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I got to get into the WNBA a little bit. I haven't really diving into.
So I actually got one on the
Mystics betting on the tonight, WNBA.
So we'll see if the Mystics beat the Sparks. They should beat the Sparks, but
we should beat the Sparks.
Yeah, they're on a 3-game winning streak right now.
Yeah. Mystics are balling right now.
They are, and that's what I do like about them. So see, I pay attention to that. NHL, we cover every sport, man. There's always value in something. My advice is if you want to bet throughout the year, find a niche, okay? Once basketball is done, college basketball, NBA, once that's done, you got baseball,
right?
WNBA. We know we got Olympic sports. We got all these things that come up throughout the year. So just find your niche, man. Find value. That's all, man.
That's what's up. No doubt. Hey, look, man, we appreciate you, my brother. We will see you on these internet streets, man.
All right, man. Thank you, guys. Appreciate y'all.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, no doubt. Peace. It's the homie Kiante right there with the Pays and Plays podcast right there. Check his stuff out on YouTube, and you can also follow him on Twitter. I'll put his handle up just in a second there, but some dope stuff from him, man.
Yeah, for sure.
Definitely. I've kind of been away from the sports betting thing for about 2 months now, pretty much since the basketball season ended, pretty much.
Okay.
But yeah, definitely be looking to get back into that for sure. for sure.
Yeah.
You got anything before we close out?
Any thoughts on the Teddy Bridgewater situation?
I wish I had the ins and outs of that story because I,
I don't
I
have
I saw the headline. So I saw the
right.
headline, but I didn't do any investigative research into what exactly happened. But
Okay,
I
well,
take it that he got done wrong.
you take that's what people are saying. I'm not going to pretend to have read all the the ins and outs of the story either, but essentially Teddy Bridgewater was suspended from as a high school coach. I don't know the name of the school, not for nothing. But he was paying for players to eat pregame meals. He paid for field paint, clothing, Ubers, physical therapy,
Yeah.
training camps. This it says totaling to close to $70,000 in the season, and he paid for it out of his pocket, and so the
Okay.
school suspended him for paying for these types of things out of his pocket. The headline reads, Teddy Bridgewater has been suspended for giving impermissible benefits to his players.
Impermissible. Okay.
Meaning he's not allowed to do that.
Okay.
He's
And
not
I would
allowed to do that.
imagine when he signed his contract with the school that there may be some language in there that he can't.
I would
do
have
these
to
things.
assume. I would have to assume that there was some type of a language saying that he shouldn't do it. But he signed it, so we should be proponents of if you sign your contract, you should be able to adhere to the rules.
Yep.
With that being said, if a kid don't got no way to get home, I'm gonna pay that Uber to get that kid home if I could do that.
Yeah.
If a kid come to me and say, "Coach, hey man, I ain't ate in 3 days," or whatever, whatever.
Yeah.
Hey man, here goes some McDonald's, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So those types of things I can certainly understand. I can't imagine how much camps cost. Take us to send a football team to a camp, and maybe that's some of the things that I might draw a line on if I was in his situation. But I'm certainly not going to fault him or try to shit on him for doing things that help the team, help the players, help the kids more than anything. So, apparently, shout out, appreciate that information.
Yeah, there's some insight from Kiante.
Yeah.
I mean, that could do it.
Yeah, if you talk shit, they suspend that ass. Yeah, I mean, for sure.
Because at first I was thinking, you kind of broke down more in detail. If a kid can't get home, you could, you pay for their Uber ride, or if they don't have a meal, you could just pay for a meal.
Yeah, I'm doing that.
Right. And I would do that too. I'm wondering, right before he said that, I'm wondering if the amount of money has, something to do with it. Like if this was
the total, like I said, the total was $70,000, right? So
if this was $10,000 versus $70,000, would this have been a big deal given the circumstances with some of these kids?
Because breaking news, Trey.
Yeah.
Coaches do pay for kids' food, whether they eating at home or not. Sometimes coaches do buy kids food.
Yeah, right.
As I am the parent of a child athlete. She's definitely been given a meal from a coach.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And my kid eats just fine at home. So you know what I'm saying. So it's a gesture. It's things you're trying to do, things you do for team building, and getting closer to your kids. It's just something nice to do for a child.
Yeah. Teddy's got a good heart, man.
Yeah.
And this situation didn't have to be evident that he has a good heart, but the fact that he put in the money for these situations with these kids, says more about his character than anything else in my book. But
the post I read said #free Teddy, so I'm repeating it: free Teddy until you're free.
Yeah. Yeah, free Teddy. I'm down with that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he ain't in
it's just one of
jail.
those situations, man. It's just
Yeah,
one of those things where you tote the line a little bit, but then
yeah.
when it starts getting, it goes from
It starts to get
10,
a little
15,000,
egregious.
and then you're getting up into that 70, almost $100,000
Yeah.
range there. They could say something.
Because my
Hmm.
question is, why ain't the government or the school system paying for their field paint? Why did
Yeah,
he
good
feel the need
question.
to have to pay that out of his pocket? I
Yeah,
mean,
good
because
question.
at the end of the day, kids feel better. I know this from in because I've had kids be on a football team before. Like
Yeah.
it's an energy when that field is painted the way it need to be, when it look good, when your
Hmm.
uniform look good, is clean, is your shoes fit,
Yep.
your equipment is right. Like it's an
Yep.
energy when kids is put in position to win, that they exude on the field when you put them in position. So like
Right.
again,
And they
I'm
see that you invest in them.
yeah, right.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
So
that's
like you
important.
said, I'm sure there's paperwork. I'm sure there's paperwork that says that maybe he shouldn't have done it. But
Yeah.
fuck all that, because sometimes you got to be able to read the room. The
Yep. For
kids
sure.
want their football field painted,
For
and if
sure.
y'all not gonna paint it, then I'm gonna get it painted.
That yeah. It's more about his character, and it says less about what the school isn't doing for
Yeah,
these kids.
yeah, for sure.
Unfortunate.
Free
But
Teddy.
quick shout out to everybody in these chats, man. See everybody here in the YouTube and Twitter chats. Also, want to shout out some of the folks in the IG live chats. Courtney Harden,
What up?
my guy Rel Scott from Philly,
Yes, sir. What up?
Juella was going on.
What up, family?
That's family right there. The auntie artist up in there too. That's
Yes,
family too.
family. Yeah, what up? What up?
Yep. Appreciate y'all. Appreciate y'all in these chats. Continue to follow us on social media. We got the Facebook page. Also, we're on Instagram at Barbershop Sports Talk Podcast. Also on Twitch and on Twitter at Barbershop SPOR2. You can find that man everywhere at Maestro Styles. You can find me on Facebook and on Instagram at Trey Frazier. If you got questions, comments, hit us up on the email at barbershopsportstalk1@gmail.com.
Do not
And
sign off yet. Don't sign off yet.
yeah, go ahead.
On streaming platforms, new beat tape, Maestro Styles. Don't worry, I'm good. Help me stack these cut up pennies, man. Stream that for me. Let me know you streaming it.
Yeah, let me get this in too, man. Can't forget to
Yes,
promote
indeed.
the merch. Can't forget
Yes,
that.
sir. Yes, sir.
T-shirts is popping right now. Scan the QR code, go copy a shirt. We got all different colors, black and blue, navy blue, white, gray. Let's, scan the QR code, folks. And then, I still got these hats left, these new era trucker hats. Scan that QR code, and like my homie right there is got right there, nice fresh looking hat right there. So, and I got a new product that I've been showcasing, but still trying to get that together. Got a new line of hats that's out right now, so be on the lookout for that. Again, if you got any questions or comments about the show, hit us up on the email at barbershopsportstalk1@gmail.com. So for myself and the homie Maestro Styles, love, peace, and happiness out there. And as always, like we say, mind your damn business.
Drink some water.
Oh yeah, we got him. Trey Frazier and Maestro Styles, you know we got one. Right back like we left something. We don't duck smoke, we want all of it. So line them up, Trey sharp with the blade, you know we sizing it up. I'm quick to catch the fade, Styles making the cut. Cause we coming out clean every time that we showing up.
It's gonna be called the